Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and one of the questions that's come up often and people seem to forget because I do rail on the supplement industry a bit, yet I still use protein shakes. I still am sponsored by a company that sells protein shakes. It's one of the few products they have that I actually do endorse. So it really begs the question of what is it that I see useful about protein shakes? What role do they have for people and where are they actually useful? Now, number one up front, I don't think one of the most common uses for them is actually useful on a protein shake. I wouldn't recommend that skinny, underweight guys who are trying to gain muscle and gain body weight consume protein shakes. Just not on my list of priorities for what I would give those people. Those people need to be consuming more food. One of the biggest mistakes I see guys who struggle to gain weight and gain size is that they eat too much protein. If you're on a balanced diet and you're eating in a small calorie surplus enough to be gaining small amounts of weight, you're going to be getting sufficient protein already to make very good gains in muscle mass. You don't need to start adding in a protein shake. And the reason for that is that protein per calorie has the most satiety of any other food for the most part, other than like raw vegetables. And if you're knocking down a bunch of protein shakes and you're consuming excess protein versus what you need for your goals, it's going to suppress your appetite more. It's going to be harder for those guys to consistently get in enough calories. I don't recommend it for them. Again, their focus just needs to be on a balanced diet of whole foods and consuming a calorie surplus. And in some cases, if they need to, even cutting back on the whole foods and eating more refined food so that they can actually get the calories in that they need to gain weight and muscle. Those people are a little rarer than a lot of people would have you believe. People who can't eat enough to gain weight in the modern world, pretty rare. But they are out there. And the majority of the ones that really do exist, it's probably because they have a very active, physically active job with a low appetite. Now, for the people I do recommend protein shakes is going to be possibly people like me, people with voracious appetites. For me, sure, I can gain muscle on 100, 150 grams of protein just fine. However, I'm hungry all the time if I do that, even when I'm eating in a calorie surplus. So for me, the protein shakes are a way to get in the calories that I need to gain muscle while giving me something that's filling, satiating, and it tastes good. And a lot of people would say, well, someone could just add more chicken breast or other things to their diet. And in some cases, that might be more cost effective. But the reality is, you get sick of that stuff. Protein shakes give you the option of a variety of flavors, something that tastes better, because you guys have seen I have everything from Cinnamon to cookies and cream to mint chocolate chip. So for me, it adds a little treat, something that tastes good, something that can help keep me fuller, that has a lot more satiety and fills me up better and has satiation than what the taste would suggest. Because if I were to go do that with some real ice cream or something, it's not going to give me the same effect. Now, the same holds true for people who are cutting and they're trying to lose body fat, because you run into a twofold issue, is that your calories have to come down, but your protein has to come up in order to preserve muscle mass. Well, if that's the case, oftentimes a balanced diet is no longer going to be ideal. And again, it goes back to the same thing of sure, you keep knocking down more bland chicken breast and things, but when you start getting food cravings, you're getting hungry because you're on reduced calories, and you start losing body fat, again, the same issue is going to kick in. You're going to want some variety in your diet. Protein shakes are good for that. And it also goes back to the point of the higher protein diet is going to give you more satiation. You're going to feel fuller longer. So again, twofold benefit there for when you're trying to lose body fat. So that's really the role that I see for protein shakes. It's not for the skinny guy who struggles to eat, who's trying to gain muscle, but more for people who are overeaters who want to gain muscle with less fat, and for people who are trying to lose body fat. That's where they become useful. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.